That's a little pigeon feather, I think. This morning I want to muse some more about self-love and how that has been my lifesaver. You see, we're brought up in this world and in our understanding of relationships, we're brought up on a platform of codependency and living from an inner deficit that is dependent on love and affirmation and validation from outside of us. And that is a really miserable way of being, actually, of living. Because the world, in most cases, is not going to validate you. It's not going to love you. And we find this out by experience very, very quickly and early in life. And that is what makes us usually turn to God. But that is also that also happens from this codependent inner deficit type identity. We are still seeking support from outside of ourselves, even in the turning towards God. It's cold today. I gotta cover my ears. So even in our, excuse me for a moment, even in our turning toward God, in trying to meet this hole in the soul kind of thing, the hole in the heart feeling, existence, we're still not looking inward. We're still looking to someone outside of ourselves to remedy this lack, this feeling of inadequacy. And that then leads us to a religious kind of experience. But we're still missing the mark, which is the true definition actually for sin. We're still missing the mark by looking outside of ourselves, external of ourselves. Never has it occurred to us that that which we are looking for is actually within us, and we need to find it within us. And so when I got the green light, so to speak, to self-love, once I got past the fear of exhibiting completely selfish behavior on my part, which I actually did all my unconscious life. We live selfish lives because of this deficit. We live from an identity of a vacuum, and we try to suck everyone dry around us by wanting their love, wanting their energy, wanting their validation. And then after a while, after we suck people dry, of course they're going to leave us or reject us or abandon us. And that makes our hole even bigger, our vacuum. And so many of us, after we have exhausted the people around us, we turn to God. Of course, the idea of God is inexhaustible, but even God, even this idea of God, this subjective experience with God, is not ultimately fulfilling, because the vacuum, the hole that we feel on the inside, can only be filled by ourselves, not by something or someone external of us. And as long as we live from a dependence on something or someone external to ourselves, we are not healing the vacuum. We are not filling the hole. And it's going to keep on sucking the life out of everyone outside of us, because that vacuum is an everlasting vacuum, and there's just not enough human power to fill that. There's not enough human ability to sustain that. That means we have to plug the hole from inside, from within ourselves. And that starts by giving the focus completely to self-love. And once you cross the barrier of criticism and self-judgment about being so internally focused, so self-focused, that you can just lavish yourself with the emotional support that you need. And you can give that yourself if you have the permission to do everything for yourself to make yourself feel good, feel whole, feel fulfilled. That will make all the difference. You are actually the solution to your own problem, not God as an external being, but you yourself in the conscious essence of the divine that you are, in the power that you have and are. You can remedy yourself and fulfill yourself to where you can stop the hole, stop the vacuum, and instead of sucking energies from everywhere, you become so full that it becomes overflowing out from you, and you start giving, not from an empty place, but from a full place. That is why self-love is the ultimate and the ultimate solution to solving our human problems.